Okay, so back for round 8 of SBR Sim Racing BTCC, and after a pretty impressive first race, we're here for the second race, which is the finishing order of the first race. So Nathan will be on pole again from the very impressive Greg, Ben in third, not so impressive, Liam, then Adam, then Lewis, Will, Nick, Coleman, Jeff, Leon, who got beaten up in the first lap, so try to avoid that, then John, Andrew, and at the back, unfortunately for him, is Brian. So we've got Airwaves cars first and last. Let's see what happens then. So switch to Nathan, there we go. So keep an eye on the lights and let's see what happens this time. Can Greg get a better start than Nathan, because no one else has managed to get past him at the first corner yet. And the lights are on, and we've got all the lights on. As soon as they go out, we'll be off and we're away. And a better start from Ben this time, but Adam with another rocket start. He's trying to go through the middle, and Greg is looking like he might get an overlap on Nathan, but will it be that way by the first corner? No, Nathan's got it. Liam takes third. Ben's had a shocker and he's down to fifth, and that's a disaster. And he's trying to fight back and get fourth, and everyone seems to have got through this time without any sort of major incident. And Ben up for the grass there. And got Lewis all over the back of him. Lewis goes a bit wide though. He needs to watch out because Will and Nick are just there on the prowl. Leon though, he's got a lot further than he did in race 1, so he'll be pleased with that. But it's the same old story out front. Nathan's pulling away already. And Greg's holding down second place, and they'll look to get back-to-back podiums. But he won't get back-to-back podiums like that. He's lost the back end. Surely he's going to lose the car, but no, his skill keeps it on the track. Or was it just like fear that kept the car on the track? I don't know, but he managed to do it. Unfortunately, he's lost 3 positions, down from second to fifth, and the beneficiary is Liam, who moves up to second. And now Lewis is wide at turn 1, completely sideways, and needs to be careful. He comes back on the track, and he does, just in front of John, and that was a bit stupid. And down to 10th place for Lewis, so a disastrous start again for him. And well, Lewis losing his head a little bit in these races at the moment, so he needs to calm down a little bit. And there's Adam in third, Ben in fourth, Greg, he'll be gutted with that, in fifth. Sixth looks like it's Nick. And round the outside is Jeff, trying to go around the outside of Lewis to try and take 10th place, and that's brave. And that's a brilliant move around the outside, and he's done it. And John's there on the prowl as well, so John having a good start to the race like he did in the first race, and he's looking to get past both of these guys. Looks like Lewis is fighting back though. So heading to turn 1, he's got a slight overlap and he'll go for it, but now Jeff's gone wide and leaves the gap, and that's enough for Lewis to get through as Coleman goes past Leon. and Leon's off. Leon's off again, this time at exit of turn 1, and we'll go back and check that out. But Leon's off, and that's a disaster for him. Has he dropped down to last place? It looks like it. Yes, he has. So really unfortunate for Leon. He's battling for 8th place then, but let's see what happened to him. And there's a pink car involved, and is that Coleman? It is. Coleman's gone wide, and so is Will. Will's drifted out wide, and Leon's got both of them. Coleman comes back and moves Leon onto the curb, and he comes back onto the track and straight across in front of Will. Will manages to stay on the track somehow and not crash, but Leon kind of did that to himself, drifted back onto the track and didn't see where Will was. So unfortunate for Leon, but sort of self-inflicted really. Look at that for a middle pack though. Coleman leading it, but it's basically the rest of the field, so half the field in that battle. And a switch back there for Will. He's nudged Coleman at the back a little bit, but this time he's learnt from it and not trying to overtake him. Jeff and Lewis getting involved there, and Jeff actually getting onto the grass, but Lewis is through, and Lewis lets him back through, throttles out and lets Jeff go. But doing so, he's going to get attacked by the other side of Andrew, and Andrew down the inside. He's got John just behind him, and Jeff's wide. Jeff's going wide. You can see how fast he was going into the corner, and now he's struggling to get back onto the track, and he's losing all these positions. He's gone from 9th down to 13th. So a lot of mistakes in this race as people getting anxious and trying to gain positions. It's a little bit strung out at the moment. Nathan's with a big lead again. Liam pretty safe from Adam at the moment, and Adam pretty safe from Ben, but Ben's got Greg all over the back of him, so Greg continuing that speed from the first race. Meanwhile, Nick having a great race in 6th with a big gap back to Will, who's under attack from Lewis, who's starting to come back through the field. Both have penalties though, and they'll have to serve them at some point. Feisty John is coming back through again. He's up after now Andrew for 10th place. And the Audi driver trying to get the Seat as they head into turn 1. And it looks like he could do it. Andrew just about holds the place, but did he run wide? Let's have a look in the background. He did, and John's got the position. John takes that 10th place, but Liam continues on, and you just feel that at some point these guys are going to get together. And there's Will now with Lewis all over him. So these two probably the most aggressive drivers in the league. We've seen that from time to time. Will already in hot water after the first race, and now Lewis is wide again. This is just not driving well at the moment, and he's just clearing his tyres there as they get on the straight, back in the slipstream of Will, trying to get a good drive down to turn 1. He's darting around just trying to put Will off as they go into the first corner, but Will will probably be okay, and he is. And that looked like Coleman was going off. Didn't quite catch it, but it looked like he was wide. We'll see where he is when we go back. We've moved to a pretty important battle for 2nd place, so Adam has closed up to Liam. Oh, Ben almost lost it there. He touched the grass. The back end came out on the Audi, just caught it. So it's Adam now pressurising Liam, and already on lap 6, so this race is flashing past as well, and Nathan's gone. You can see he's halfway down the straight already. So if these guys start battling, he could probably win by a lap. And Adam there just sussing it out, not quite close enough for this lap, but definitely closing in. Meanwhile, this is the big battle, and indeed I don't see where Coleman is. Didn't see him. And Leon battling back again like he did in the first race, and up into 13th past Jeff. Jeff will fight back up the inside, but pulls out of that move. And a few other drivers could learn from that. But no, Coleman is in 9th still, so no, he may have run wide, but it wasn't enough to affect his position. Will's still not taking his penalty, and that looked like a slow moving Nick. No, he's still going. Oh, Ben trying to get an inside run on Adam, but that wasn't on. And Liam wide, Adam wide, and this will be a good opportunity for Ben. Surely he can pass both now. They would have lost drive out of the corner, but Adam's still in the slipstream with Liam. Liam's just about kept enough straight line speed, and that's helped Adam out no end. So unlucky there for the Audi driver. He thought he was gaining 2 positions, but as it turns out, not at all. Greg just struggling to hang on to the back of these guys, but he's still there, just about within touch. A great showing from Nick, who's in 6th and looks safe in 6th, and nearly all his penalty gone now for Will. And look at John in 9th. That's easily the best drive he's had all season. So driving really well, and he showed signs of that in the first race. Just needs to keep the consistency up. And Brian as well up in 12th, but he's got Leon behind him, and Leon's gonna try and make a move at some point, I'm sure of it. But Leon just trying to come back through the field after that massive off at the exit of turn 1, and that's ruined his race. He was battling for 8th at the time, remember. And Liam now feeling the need to cover the inside line as they head towards turn 1, as Adam tries to swoop round the outside, but not close enough. Or is he? Nope, Liam's got it covered and just moves out to cover the position anyway. We've seen this work around the outside, but he's not alongside Liam, so Liam will hold on to 2nd place for now. And there you go, there's Nick again holding down a good 6th place, with Lewis and Will still battling. And this is a great battle for 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th place. But Jeff again looking lacklustre in this race, back in 14th place. We expect more from the American, and he's surely he can do something about it. Jeff's one of the most improved drivers, but that is not a great bit of driving. And Leon's down the inside, but oh, it looked a bit ambitious, and he's pushed Brian out, and now he's hit the back of Coleman, and Jeff might get up the inside of him. He'd been held up, but he went for a dive that wasn't really on with Brian. Brian was always going to turn in. Brian's the guy that loses out and goes down to 14th, so he'd be quite upset with that, because Brian was having a good race. But Leon's through. Probably feels he needs to dish out a little bit after the contact he's had in race 1 and 2. And this battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th, so Greg's moved in as these guys start really battling. And it's just starting to look like it could get heated. Liam though looks in control, with Adam now under more pressure from Ben, and Greg's, like I say, just waiting in the wings to see what happens. 7 laps to go. So it's the Laser Tools car, the Vauxhall, the Audi and the Rocket Ford liveried vehicle, and Ben trying to get up the inside again of the Vauxhall, but just can't get that move sorted. And Will there again, like I say, no man's land, kind of sat happy in 6th place with Will in 7th. And the main battle here is Leon with Coleman and John. John's dropped back a little bit. Can he get back up the inside of Coleman? Nope, not quite. Runs wide a little bit, Coleman, but nope, John's got it, and Jeff's 13th now, obviously because of the demise of Brian after probably unfairly getting spun out a little bit. Like to see another angle of it, but it looked a bit aggressive. And Liam's still holding on there. He's got a nice little gap, but that's just about enough to stay out the slipstream. But Adam's been pretty quick down the straight all day, and no difference there. He's pretty much closed the gap by the time we get to turn 1. But still the status quo remains, and Greg's wide in the background, so he's lost all that time he's gained. And there you go, he's dropped back a bit. Liam though, looking strong in this championship. I think the battle will be for second in the championship really, because it looks like Nathan's too good to lose this now. And Ben down the inside of Adam. No, Adam's just on a different line, swoops across. But if he keeps doing that line, at some point he's going to get caught out. But he's more interested in trying to catch Liam, I think. Very good through this corner, although Ben's got a good run this time. Problem being, Adam's getting slipstream from Liam's car, and that's just keeping him out of the slipstream of Ben. So you can see he's actually stretching away there on the straight, which is pretty strange, because surely Ben should be getting a double slipstream and then passing him, but that's the way games work sometimes. There's Will. Will's looking pretty lonely now in 7th, and there's a few strung out positions, but this isn't strung out. This is John against Jeff. And Jeff just trying to get something out of this race, and they both go wide at the first corner. John pulls up the handbrake, and that's probably enough to keep him in the position. Where's Jeff? Jeff's gone to the car park, got his ticket and got back in again. And Coleman down in last, so he's had an issue. Brian's decided to pit for reasons that are only clear to himself, and he'll get lapped by his teammate Nathan. But now we've got a good battle, and in the half lap that we've left them, Adam's managed to catch up to Liam, and Liam's defending for his life down into turn 1. Like I say, Ben's still there in the background flashing his lights and trying to get involved, but now Adam tries to swoop around the outside. That's brave, and it'd be lucky if that works, but it looks like he might have got it, you know. And that is a brilliant move from Adam, continuing his great form of driving at the moment. He's really driving well, and that is a fantastic move to pull on Liam. Liam's not one of the easiest guys to overtake, as we know, we've talked about it before, but that was incredible from Adam. Just pulled Liam's pants down, really, just went around the outside of him. Liam didn't think it was possible, but he made it so. And now Liam under pressure from the Audi, the reigning champion Ben, but looks like Liam's not done with Adam yet, and Ben's swooping in close. But Liam is pretty well placed to get a slipstream of his own down the front straight. As we move into the latter stages of the race, we're lap 15 now, so if Liam's got anything left to fight back with, he needs to produce it now. So everything else looking a bit stale, so status quo, let's call it. Coleman though, not having a great race. In fact, both pink cars aren't having a great race, so yeah, not much more to say. Ben though all over the back of his nemesis Liam. These guys go back quite a long way racing, never particularly liked each other on track. They sort of get along off track, although there's a lot of swearing going on. But Liam now trying to repay the favour to Adam. He's probably a bit embarrassed by that move, and he won't like it. The feisty little Scotsman though will not give up, and he's all over the back now of Adam as they head onto the back straight. Ben's made a mistake in the background, by the way. He just tipped a wheel onto the grass again at that horrible last corner, and that's cost him any chance of battling these guys at the moment. And Liam tries to make the same move as Adam, but it won't work, and now a switch to the inside, and will he make that work? He's down the inside. Adam gives him room, a little bit of contact, but Liam looks like he's repaid the favour. At the same corner he lost it, although it's still not done. Adam's still hanging on, but no, Liam takes the position and Adam loses it, so he's ahead for 2-3 laps. And Liam says, well, you can have it for a little while, but I want it back. Liam retakes that second position with an equally as cool move down the inside into turn 1. He kind of feinted to the outside and switched back. Adam fell for it and left the room. And meanwhile, here's John in 10th, still battling with Jeff. These guys having a great race. And Lewis has dropped back to 12th, so Lewis has had more dramas. So the pretty and pink cars are having an absolute disaster. Disaster? That's a bit posh. Disaster. 12th and 13th at the moment. The number 80 car, which makes John older than me, I'm pretty sure that's the year he was born, so thanks Johnny, making me feel young. Probably older than that is Jeff behind him, the truck driver from the USA, and 66 on his car, and I'm pretty sure that was the year he was born, but it gives me hope that I can carry on for a few more years. Coleman's not wanting to carry on much longer. He's pretty much the whole straight behind his teammate, but he's still way ahead of Brian, who pitted, which we still don't really understand. But crossing the line to start his last lap is Nathan, and as you can see behind, there is no one there. Liam just coming out the last corner now with Adam in hot pursuit. Ben's close back in with Coleman, so he has pace but just can't use it. He's stuck behind these guys, and we know Greg's fast because of the first race, so these two just couldn't get past these guys. These guys have been fighting amongst themselves, and look how fast Adam is down that straight with that slipstream. But oh, he's a bit wide, but Ben's not close enough to take advantage. He does seem to use wider sweeping lines, which do sort of leave him open to dive bombing. But luckily these guys are all good drivers, and we haven't had any issues this race. Been good professional driving. We've had two brilliant overtakes, but we also had a brilliant drive from Nathan, and he's going to win again. So this is becoming a theme, and Nathan's won again in the airwaves Ford. And there's chaos in the background there as Ben tries a late move down the inside of Adam, but it hasn't worked. And Liam will take second place. Adam will take third, a good podium for him. He's happy with that, you can see that. 4th for Ben, 5th for Coleman. Greg, who threw it away really on the second lap. 6th and a career best for Nick. 7th for Will. Much better showing from him in this race and much better driving. 8th for Andrew without pitting. He's produced a great result for Seat after a disappointing first race for them. 9th for Leon, great result after being backwards in the wall. 10th for the season best, I believe, for John. 11th for Jeff, 12th for Lewis, and 13th for Coleman. Is a disaster for Pretty and Pink Racing. And of course Brian will bring up the rear, but yep, great bit of driving at the front. Nathan wins easily again, and that's that. So it was Nathan, Liam, Adam, Ben, Greg, Will, Nick, Will, Andrew, Leon with a great display. Like I say, it was backwards in the wall at turn 2, and then it was John, Jeff and Lewis. So now we prepare for race 3, which is the reverse grid of those results. So Nathan will start at the back, and that will be and it always is, an interesting race. So join us for round 9 very shortly.